after graduation, a few years back, I was a young architect. I worked at architectural office. It was fine. It was just fine. But it wasn't a career that I agreed on with my inner 9-year-old a couple years back. And well, does any one of you ever made such a pact with your younger self to become someone that you dream of? Yeah, some of you probably do that. And well, in my case, it was a very serious commitment because I said to myself that I will become a space architect. I'm not shooting you. That's what I'm trying to do for the like past 2 years or 3 years. And well, at first I decided just to tone down this feeling, and I decided to start a simple blog called Space is More. When I was about to write about outer space and buildings and somehow find a common ground between these two. And this is where I encountered my first speed bump, because the blog was a utter failure. The main reason was probably that I have very good skills in procrastinating. I'm a master procrastinator, and maybe writing is just not for me. But I learned a lot, in fact, and I think it was a great start and a step forward in the right direction, because I had to grasp the idea of what space architecture really is. And I am guessing that most of you don't know what space architecture is, so I'll try to explain to you very quickly how I see it. Quick question. Have you all seen The Martian with Matt Damon? Yeah. Probably, or at least you saw the trailers. And in this story, the astronaut survived on Mars for more than a year, and well, he had some adventures, he had his ups and downs, and he could manage all of it, he could survive because he lived inside a habitat. Habitat is a word very frequently used when it comes to space architecture, and it stands for a most basic shelter from a hostile environment of another world. A shelter in which a friendly earthly environment can be recreated. In biology, habitat means a natural environment in which an organism lives, or a physical environment that surrounds a species population. If that's so, I would argue that Matt Damon's habitat was only a high-tech Martian version of our most basic shack. And this is probably also how our very first housing looked like something like 30,000 years ago. But what's interesting, this housing differed all around the globe. We had to shelter ourselves from different weather, from different temperatures. We had to work with the material that we had at our disposal in a particular area. And also, all of these structures had to withstand Earth gravity, had to cope with the atmospheric pressure, and had to be prepared for changing of seasons. All of these things have certain common, how to call it? Maybe theme. Well, it's all because we are living on our planet. Oh, the astronomical cost. That was what I was looking for.
We're never going to guess that.
Yeah, probably. So yes, as you may probably know, we live on a certain planet with a certain density, certain size, within a certain distance from our sun. Our rotation axis is a little bit tilted in regard to our ecliptic. So now we have seasons, or we just have the seasons occur, and well, so we may say that Earth is in space we are in space, dude, we are all astronauts. And every architecture, in fact, is a space architecture. We only work with a different globe or without any globe, and we just work on different variables like gravity, pressure, energy from the sun, and so on, you call it. And it only happens that we evolved here on Earth, and we had, out of time, like 30,000 years to teach ourselves how to elevate such magnificent buildings, and, well, we just are very good at it. But what about outer space? For now, there is only one permanent off-world habitat. It's called the International Space Station. And, well, it's basically a flying laboratory with great views and almost no space for human beings to feel comfortable and, well, dedicated for them exclusively. And that's where I think the space architect must step in, because in the future it will look a little bit different. So I decided to design my first space proposal. In this strange competition, architectural competition, I don't know why I decided to participate in this one, because it is a competition for architects to design the future of your bathroom. And my vision was to propose the very first space swimming pool. So I started to think. I was thinking a little bit more. It was very intense thinking. Then was procrastinating a bit once again. There was some intense thinking later on, some panic even, as the deadline was closing in. But you know what? I made it. I proposed my very first space design, cosmic design, and, well, I wanted to show people how we could entertain ourselves with zero gravity when there is no up and down, and when the water is put in steady place using air current. I was very proud of it, but you know how it goes. I failed. I won nothing. I was a little bit upset, but you know, that's just life. I said to myself, and around that time I found out about another competition. This time it was focused on space exploration, so I was very excited. It was called Inspiration Mars, and, well, it encouraged teams around the world to design a manned Mars flyby mission, the whole mission architecture. And I was so excited that I could design this habitat that people could live inside for 500 days and then return to Earth. But I, well, didn't have a team that could help me with life support system, trajectories, and so on, rockets. But I was very dedicated to find one. This is when I met with Dorota here. She will speak after me, I hope so. And then I wasn't alone. I introduced her to the project and she said, well, yeah, that's interesting. All right, I'm in. And then 6 other people joined, and then we could do some very interesting things, just like introduce our vision of interplanetary spaceship that looked just like this. Our proposal was a 50-page report, and guess what? This time, we've got to the finals, and this is my exact reaction when I get the memo. For one simple reason, we had like 3 weeks to buy tickets, fly to Houston, get our visas and so on, and, well, show our project to some specialists from SpaceX and NASA. Everything sounds so cool, but we had no money.
Of course.
So, and there was no help in sight. So we decided to turn into crowdfunding. And we made a crowdfunding campaign. And long story short, we managed to raise like 90,000 zlotys in 4 days. And it was fantastic, and we suddenly became popular. Thank you, but it wasn't our success, it was success of the people that helped us. And well, we became popular, we made some new friends, I even made a TED talk, but then we flew to Houston, and guess what? We didn't win one. Or to put it differently, I failed once again. And I felt terrible, I was devastated. I felt my team, I felt my friends, I felt all the people that gave us money. Probably the worst day that you could have. But thankfully, my teammates were able to dig me out of this rubble of my shattered ego, pat me on the back and said, well, get over it. And so I did. And we decided to do what not any other team had done. We decided to visit Stanford University, UC Berkeley, and NASA space centers and show our proposal. And it was very well received. And they said to us, well, impressive work, keep it up. And so we did. We returned to Poland. I started a PhD to focus on space architecture, and not long after we proposed a new idea, an inflatable Martian settlement. We thought that, well, introducing inflatables in low atmospheric pressure of Mars is a smart and cost-effective idea. And thankfully, some other people thought that too, and we were invited to show our design at Expo 2015 in Milan, and that was cool. We showed our big diorama in Polish pavilion during Space Technology Week, and yeah, it felt good. It really felt good. And around that time, NASA announced their new competition, 3D Printed Habitat Challenge, and it was a tough one because they called upon participants to introduce state-of-the-art architectural design that would use 3D printing to create all structures, houses. Tough one, really. But we decided to take a part and proposed a habitat and full production process of a big 3D printer, autonomous 3D printer that would melt layer after layer of Martian soil in order to create a ceramic structure. And guess what? Once again, we got to the finals. We were very lucky and very cheerful that we could bring our 3D printed model here on the left to New York Makers Fair. And on the right, you see another model by a company called Foster & Partners. This is one of the biggest architectural offices in the world. And in the background, the winning proposal. So yeah, we didn't win once again, didn't we? But this time, it was bittersweet because we were among the best architects in the world, so some of my pride could be salvaged that way. Yeah, fun times. But there's a pattern, isn't it? Our last competition was European Space Agency Moon Challenge, and this time I did not participate in it. Dorothy participated, my friend Szymon participated, and our new architect in Space is More participated, Agata. I thought that it would be great for her to, well, take a challenge of a new competition by herself. And guess what? Oh, this is our team. Very multinational team. A lot of universities all around the world. Kyoto University, Rome University, Pennsylvania University. All right. And this time, it was a success. So you can see Dorothy, Agata, Szymon. And I couldn't be happier for my friends that I shared my dream with, obviously. And was very lucky to be with them in European Space Agency Research Center because I struck a great deal for Space is More. as well. We become a part of a modular anaerobic research station, or MARS project for short, and it is going to be a mock-up of a lunar base here in Poland. We are providing an architectural design for it, and it will test a real astronauts for the sake of the future European Space Agency missions to the moon. Yeah. And I really hope that this time will not fail, because we still are trying to gather funds. Once again through crowdfunding. That's why I'm on some kind of a emotional roller coaster right now, because there is a pattern, isn't there? Yeah, road to success is curved, with a lot of failures. That's true. But I really hope that this time, with all the things that I learned during my other failures, I will at least try not to screw up this time. But unfortunately, the failure will come some time along the way. And when it comes, you should all make sure to have some people to have your back that you can lean on. It's very important to learn from mistakes in order to progress yourself. Yeah. Failing is a part of becoming successful. And guess what? One day, you will realize that you achieved your goal. Like last week, I received an email from European Space Agency, and they invited me to participate in a workshop to help them introduce solutions and designs for the future moon village. And then instruct me. I've become a space architect. Space agency treat me, well, how to call it? Poważnie. Seriously, yeah. Space agency treat me seriously. But it's different than I imagined. Maybe because I learned a lot along the way, and now it's more science than fiction. And I wouldn't be there or here with you if not for the wonderful people that I entrusted my dreams with. They dreamt with them to achieve something. So please dream together, because together you will complement each other and achieve more, a lot more. Thank you.